Text direction allows us to make sure that our tags are orientated correctly on our entities. Under the Advanced tab, we have currently 7 different text direction types. We're going to go over them one at a time. The first one we have is called top to bottom. You can see over here at the preview that when we choose top to bottom, we are always reading the text from the top of the drawing to the bottom of the drawing. It also means that we would always be turning our head to the right to read the text. You can see here that the 56 length tag, if you turn your head to the right, we're reading it from the top of the drawing to the bottom of the drawing. You can also notice it on the duct that's angled here. So top to bottom means from top of drawing to bottom of drawing. The reverse of that would be bottom to top. That would mean we'd always read the text from the bottom of the drawing to the top of the drawing. Here you would always be turning your head to the left to read the text. So you can see here it is the reverse of top bottom is bottom top. The third option is left to right. What this means is the text will always be left to right on the drawing, just like you're reading a book. Regardless of the duct's orientation, the tag is always perfectly parallel to the horizon. It's always left to right. The next two options are called along the layout and counter layout. These are easily the most popular options. What along the layout means is that the tag should be parallel to the layout line of the duct. Imagine we drew a line from the center in joint to the center out joint of the duct, and that this tag should be sitting parallel right on top or right below that line. The reason why it's popular is because what it does is it allows the tag to follow the angle that the duct is to the drawing. So here when you have duct that's on an angle, the 56-inch tag is perfectly parallel with the sides or the center line of the duct. So we use this particular text direction quite often. Now one thing to note is that this text direction will not work in all situations. You can see here currently that we have set 1. And set 1 has the direction interval from 90 degrees to 270 degrees. And here along the layout is going to work very well for all these options. However, if we switch over to set 2 and we choose along the layout, take a look at the text here. You can see that it's actually in our preview, it's upside down. And the reason why is the duct has been turned upside down when we're going in those directions. A very good way to represent this is take a look at this fitting. We're going to click on it. You can see that the airflow is going from the in joint to the out joint. And we've represented a layout line here, which is usually invisible, and the tag is sitting on top of it. Now, if we were to rotate this duct from going at 0 degrees, and we were to use the rotation tool and put it up and down, you can see that the tag is riding along the layout line. If we rotate it at 180 degrees, you can see now that the tag, because it's sitting on that layout line, is now upside down. So what we do in this particular case is we use another text direction type called counter layout. It is simply the reverse of along the layout. And what we're going to do here is we're going to open up our screen again. We're going to change our preview back to rect duct. We're going to choose our angle back at 45. And here for set 2, we're going to switch from using what was along the layout. You can see it's upside down. We're going to switch it to counter layout. And when we do that, now that is the reverse of along the layout. And now my set 2 angle is exactly where we want it here. And of course, since we've got set 1 currently set for along the layout, those are going to be where we need them. And it's really easy to spot because you're always going to see exact text direction once you change it. The preview is going to update. The last two options we have are along the joint and its counterpart, counter joint. If we change it to along joint, it means that the text should always be sitting on top or parallel to the in joint. So you can see here that the 56 is basically riding parallel to the in joint. That would mean that if the duct was running down on the drawing, for example, over here in set 2, if we had chosen along the joint for text direction, If you look at it here, because this duct is coming down on the drawing, you'll notice that it's upside down because it's sitting on top of the joint that has just been inverted. So in this particular case, we would want to use, for text like this, we'd want to use text direction counter joint. Essentially, it's going to reverse it. So by using along the layout, counter layout, and along joint and counter joint, you can make sure that your text is always parallel to either the joint of the duct or the walls of the duct. And that's why these options are the most popular.